Hi, it's John Binney. I'm here to transparently share my future vision, mission in this lifetime, my guiding principles, my tenets that I've set out to achieving this vision and mission. And this is freely available on johnbinney.com. If you go to the About Me section, and you'll see my future vision, and it details all of this. And this is exactly what I'm going to be reading through with you just now. So first of all, a universal perspective. Darkness and light are rebalancing across the universe, with planet Earth at the very center. The whole world is going through a massive transformation. Global systems of greed and control are falling away, giving rise to a new world of equality, abundance for all, compassion, and unconditional love. This global transformation is being supported by more and more people experiencing spiritual awakenings to lead by example in this new world. My vision. So my vision is helping this world transform into equality, abundance, compassion, forgiveness, and unconditional love for all. And this begins within the hearts of all of us, facing our fears and our shadows to feel, heal, and achieve inner harmony. And when we truly love the universe within us and practice self-love through self-care every day, then we can extend this to the universe outside of us. And the problems I choose to tackle, my customer problems, since 2024, year on year, almost 5 times the number of people are going through their unique spiritual awakenings, and this rate is accelerating. These experiences can leave people feeling alone, confused, without purpose, and that their old lives no longer fit them. The world needs us all, now more than ever, to embody and to lead the way in the creation of this new world. My mission is to help thousands and in time millions of people navigate through their journeys, through their spiritual awakenings, to empower people to find their life purpose, deepen their daily practices, embody and put into practice their physical and metaphysical abilities to help this whole world's transformation. And I then go in to share a bit more about my vision and what it means for the future, and also my personal goals about how I choose to put self-love first as the key to be able to unlocking my personal abundance that allows me to be able to serve even more people rather than just burning myself out and running too fast and pushing too hard. I also describe my own tenets about my own work-life balance. So I'm just going to scroll down a little bit because the document also contains a lot about the services that I offer and how I'm going to achieve these goals. And then talks a bit about what happens in the first few years of my business and my clients themselves. So importantly, I want to come on to what are my tenets for the work I do and teach others. So I'll reflect on each one as we go, and it's really important that I take time to share this and to explain as I go. So I'll read the first one. The first tenet is: we fully respect the free will of every living thing, regardless of its frequency, dimension, or any other characteristic. So this is so fundamental to the work I do. I do a lot of work with energy clearing and healing, removing negative energies, entities, and high vibration beings and everything in between. And this whole universe is founded on the free will principle. And that means that every single thing that is living, and you can argue everything is living, has its own free will. Everything gets to decide what it wants to do. And if we ever try and cross that, regardless of how low vibration a being is, then we break this free will law of the universe. And this is where we also open up ourselves to karma, where we have to pay the price for compromising other people's free wills or other beings' free wills. The second tenet is we never, in capitals, return or send a being, and this includes energies, entities, or any kind of being, to source against its free will. We'll always ask beings to choose whether it's to return to source or never return here again. And this is critical for me. It's something that is close to my heart, and I would never want someone to return a being against its will to a place that it did not want to go to, both in terms of breaching of the free will law of this universe, and then also the challenge of, well, if you return something to source, then you can put the soul of that being at risk and end up in a situation where the soul is merging back in with source and no longer becomes in existence. So the death of that soul. So this is very, very important for you to consider. The third, we understand that the superpower of the darkness is to create the illusion of duality and separation. And we understand that the light is more powerful than darkness, and that we cannot have one without the other in a harmonious universe. So what does this mean? Well, it means that it's first of all acknowledging the importance of darkness and light. So both ends of the spectrum in this universe. If we didn't have both, we couldn't achieve harmony. And if we have one without the other, so if you have light denying darkness, it's like a win for darkness, right? Because if you only focus on the love and light, you're only ever going to get all the positives, which in time flatten out and become this one-sided, one part of the spectrum universe. And it's the same for darkness. If you're only ever in darkness and no light, you're also one-sided. And so the true power within all of us and across this universe is in both our darkness and our light, and finding the perfect harmony between the two. Number 4 is that we practice no judgment, even when the things a being has done seem beyond our capability of darkness. It could be capability or comprehension. So sometimes we witness things in our lives and in the work that we do that just seems beyond our comprehension, beyond the darkness that's within us. And it's very easy for us to judge and say, I would never do that. But I believe in unity, and that in this unity is that every living thing in this whole universe is part of the same unity. And so whatever I witness outside of me is possible within me, even if I'm keen to deny that sometimes. And so this helps with practicing no judgment. It doesn't desensitize us or make us any less human, but it brings awareness, and it brings more unity to these challenges that we face, especially with the atrocities, traumas, pain and suffering that we see outside of us. And then number 5, the last one, we are all one in unity, every living thing, and everything is living, including the seemingly lifeless, rocks, planets, asteroids, homes, human-made objects, and more. So this is really important. Whenever we're affecting any object, any being, with our energy, with our choices, with our actions, with our thoughts, our feelings, know that we are all parts of the same unity. And so it's important to treat every living thing with respect, and to also, when you see it as living, it makes everything much easier for you to comprehend this. So I'm definitely all for a unified universe. So these are my 5 tenets. These are my guiding principles. I have these at the beginning of my training courses now. It's on my website, and I practice these each day myself. And I encourage you to give me your thoughts on the tenets that I have set out. And also, would you add any yourself? Would you change any yourself? It's an important reflection. They might seem all good and easy, but they're hard. And they're hard to write down. And if you're feeling up for the challenge, do write down your own. Maybe like to put in a comment or send them an email about it. I hope this finds you well. If you're interested in my work, please visit johnbinney.com, and I look forward to hearing from you. Sending so much love from Scotland. Take care.